I would first advise that you watch the video that I should have posted before this video, but I wasn't able to post the video before the response of this video, if you get what I mean. So it was supposed to be posted before the Alex Day video came out, and so therefore it's all kind of schmuzzled. Basically, click the link below and watch that video before you watch this, or watch it afterwards so you've got a little bit of context as to what you're watching here now, whatever you choose to do. So this is a response video to the half-an-hour long video that Alex Day posted yesterday, Sunday the 5th of September, after 6 long months trying to figure out what the hell had gone on with this whole YouTube crisis and the whole did he or didn't he have any kind of inappropriate relations with his fans, or, you know, commit any kind of crime or whatever. And my first response was that I was extremely angry in the first sort of 10 minutes of this video, because firstly, this guy had come out of nowhere after 6 months and had not even explained to anyone or had even defended himself in any way, shape or form. And it really kind of took me by surprise to even see his face on YouTube again. So I was a little bit angry and a little bit kind of like, how dare you show your face after you've been accused of all of this, and then just expect us to be okay with it, for the YouTube community to be okay with it. I wrote a Facebook status as well, which kind of expressed this anger and kind of repulsed feeling about it. In hindsight, I probably should have watched the entire video before I put the Facebook status up, but it did kind of bring up a whole load of conversation that was happening whilst I was still watching the video. So I apologise, I probably should have watched the entire video in its entirety before I put the Facebook status, but that was just an initial, I'm really fucking angry at this current moment of time, so I'm just going to put it, and so that explains that first off. So like I say, the first 10 minutes of this video, I am really angry, because I think you have got no right to even show your face on YouTube again, my friend, because, you know, you've put a lot of people through a lot of shit, whether or not you're responsible for it or not. You know, you've not really been very apologetic about it. You put your fans through an awful lot of you know, turmoil as to whether or not they can even trust you anymore, or whether they can even be fans of you anymore. So that was kind of the first niggling feeling that really irritated me. However, I watched the whole thing, and I watched how Alex Day went from Alex Day that I've known for as many years as I've been watching him on YouTube. And suddenly he turned into someone who was very obviously unsure of what the response was going to be, and very unsure of what people are even going to think. And actually, for someone who says so much that they don't care what people think of him, my God, you could just tell that he cared what people thought of him at that moment. So to some degree, I do feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for him that he's lost his friends. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, well, you know, you haven't come to defend yourself. And most people, whether they are guilty of doing something wrong or not, they will defend themselves almost as soon as they possibly can. You know, if I was accused of anything that was put a negative kind of connotation to my name, I would defend myself straight away. I wouldn't just sit back and let horrible amounts of stories and things happen that make people not like you anymore. Personally, you know, I appreciate that he's kind of acknowledged the fact that there are repercussions to what has happened, and I acknowledge the fact that he understands that he's hurt a lot of people and that he's lost his friends as a result of that. But at the same time, I'm kind of thinking, like, it's kind of late now, and the rest of YouTube has moved on, and, you know, it has been a bit of a silver lining sort of thing, because people have moved on, and people have started to put the YouTube community back together, and it hasn't received a massive amount of media attention because in the grand scheme of things, YouTube isn't really like normal celebrity life. It's not like that. It's just, it's big for us, it's big for people in the community because it is our community, it is our lives that are projected through this website. So yeah, I'm kind of a bit conflicted really, conflicted in that, more because we all know how censored and how edited anything on YouTube is, on anything on the internet. So the video itself is very much sort of protecting himself and protecting, self-preservation, I guess. And, I can't really feel sorry for him. I can't really feel any kind of empathy for him because, yes, he lost his friends. Yes, it's come at a big cost, whatever has happened, and whether he's guilty of it or not. But it doesn't excuse the fact that, Alex Day used to speak to his fans like they were crap. He used to say, I don't really care what you lot think, all that sort of thing. The way he used to talk about women on his YouTube videos, comfortably with me at all, and it used to really repulse me sometimes, even just watching him when I was a fan of him, and I was a bit like, oh, you shouldn't really be saying that, my friend. He's already set this kind of persona up as he's a bit of a dick. So, when we're already given this kind of ideology of who this person is, and when Tumblr blogs go up and say, he's this, that and the other, he's been doing this, and he's admitted before in previous videos he's done things that he's not proud of, what are we expected to think? YouTubers on our side of things, the fans, only know what we've been told by other YouTubers. We only know what's been told by these accounts. We haven't had any official reports. We haven't had any kind of police investigations as far as I'm aware. So, there is a lot of sort of censorship and editing that surrounds the entire crisis on YouTube at the minute. And as much as I appreciate that Alex is trying to maybe alleviate some of that and try and help some of that by saying, look, acknowledge that I've been a dick, I've acknowledged that my part in this is wrong or whatever, it's really, really difficult to know where to go from here. I think what is probably best for everyone is, if he does decide to carry on doing YouTubing, is that he is aware of the fact that he is never going to be the YouTuber that he was. He's never going to have that kind of fame that he had. Behaviour on YouTube itself has changed since all of these things have come out, all of this scandal has come out, because people are far more aware of what they have to put on YouTube, and they're far more aware of their behaviour on YouTube. If you act like a dick to your fans, they're not going to believe you. If something comes out about you, they're not going to believe you at all. If you're a nice person and you're an honest person from the word go, people are going to believe your integrity far more. I think that's what I'm finding really, really difficult, is this could be a genuine Alex feels really sorry for what he's done or what part he's had to play in the last few months, and having lost his friend as well has probably played a big part in that. But like I say, it's like, boy who cries wolf. It's really difficult to believe him when he's acted like a dick before, and YouTube has moved on and YouTube is starting to put itself back together, and now he's kind of come at a time which is a little bit like, you're too late. You really are too late to have been able to fix anything or do anything to make the situation any better or be able to defend yourself. And if anything, it kind of makes you look guilty by not having said anything in the first place. I know why I became a little bit more... I watched it and felt a little bit of empathy for him. But at the same time, I was a bit like, well, you haven't actually said sorry. Haven't actually outrightly apologised. Now, if you're guilty or not, you apologise because something has gone against your name that makes you seem like a villain. So, like I say, The YouTube community has moved on, and whatever Alex decides to do, whether he decides to try and be part of the YouTube community but kind of take a step back, I think he just needs to really think long and hard about whether or not he carries on with this real Alex Day persona, or whether or not he decides to change himself, regenerate the name Alex Day, prove to the whole community, not just the fans, the entire community, that if he is going to be part of this community again, because we don't know, because a lot of the fans have no idea whether or not this has actually happened, we're clouded and shrouded in mystery because the whole thing's become jaded, because we don't really know what the real what has actually happened. So, you know, if he is guilty and has done all these things and has been very manipulative towards women and stuff like that, then shouldn't be on YouTube at all. If, in fact, he's perfectly innocent and, you know, is innocent in every sense, and what he's saying is true, then he needs to acknowledge the fact that he didn't say so. And I understand as well that that's not maybe his way of doing things. He maybe sits back from things and then answers, but I don't know. I'm in a really difficult position myself, because I don't know what to think. I don't know if to have an opinion on this, really, because I don't know. But having had respect for the guy in the past, and then not having respect for him, and then him coming back and expecting, or kind of coming back out of nowhere, is a bit like, I don't really know. I don't really know how to put words together, really. Has grown a bit more of a backbone in terms of being able to set out the people who have been involved in these kind of accusations. And that's maybe meant that we are far more aware of the bullshitters. So, I don't know. I really don't know. I think it will be something that will probably carry on as a discussion amongst the community itself, which it rightly should, because there's no reason why accusations of sexual assault or manipulation should not be spoken about, because it's a serious issue that, you know, if it affects the fans and the content makers, then it affects the entire community. Time to calm down and let it kind of sit for a while. I'm kind of sat with the notion of, okay, right, you've made your voice heard now, but don't forget that the YouTube community has moved on and has made itself better after all of this. So wherever you fit in the community from now on, if you do at all, you need to be able to acknowledge the fact that that is the way it's going to have to be. So I hope you guys are well, and I hope you've been able to put up with me rambling on about that for long enough. But yeah, and I shall see you soon. Bye bye.